Welcome back, everybody. We are here for another one of your questions about work. And for those of you who are new, I'm Roy, and together for the first time with my colleague Lisa, we are startup investors in the future of work. Today we have a question that has some background in a very special project that Lisa's been leading for us. So day 151, Lisa, take it away.
Yeah, so today's question is, I think my boss is doing something unethical. What do I do? And this question is sort of resonates with us a lot because we've been running a course with some leading Stanford faculty who have been doing a lot of work at the intersection of technology, ethics, and public policy. So we've brought together a group of sort of 140 people, all working at leading tech companies to discuss these issues. Yeah, Roy, this is day 151. So I think my boss is doing something unethical. What should I do?
Yeah, so I'm going to give a one-word answer, and then I'm going to elaborate. And the one-word answer is something, meaning the most common thing that people do when they detect something unethical happening in the workplace is nothing. Is that they feel either intimidated because they don't have the power to oppose it, or their like internal, their spidey sense is tingling, but they're not sure and they don't fully trust themselves, and therefore they wait. And so the most important thing is to find something to do. And what is that thing? Well, this is where you get into the long chapter of the book titled It Depends. And so let's just take it depends on how egregious the thing is, whether you are personally and directly involved in doing the thing, what the nature of that thing is. And so let's take a situation where, you see your boss behaving inappropriately toward another coworker, let's say. And it's tough because this person, you work for this person. I mean, look, today in our team meeting, we had a blow up in an argument between me and one of our other colleagues where, maybe we were both behaving inappropriately. I don't know if that was unethical. That was more uncomfortable and yelling. But I don't know if it was unethical. But let's say it had been unethical. Let's say I had made some inappropriate comment or something like that. So the first step is getting centered with yourself of like, okay, why do I think that was inappropriate? How confident am I in my view? If you're pretty confident in your view, then you can go directly to the person who is your boss. And obviously now this depends on your relationship with that person, and ask them why they did that and tell them that it made you uncomfortable. Now you may feel like you don't want to do that because there might be repercussions, in which case then it's a matter of finding somebody else you can go to, either somebody in HR who you can ask quietly or another teammate. If you're not that confident in your point of view, then the thing to do is to try to get more confident. And that's where you can go to somebody you trust on the team or somebody else at the company who maybe doesn't know the specifics. And, you escalate all the way up through. At some points, what you have to do is report your boss to the authorities because they're literally doing something that in addition to being unethical might also be illegal. And so there's a series of escalations that you go through. And it just varies a lot depending on the specific circumstance. So start with yourself, get confident. Say something, you might start by asking a question. You don't have to come with like a federal case, and then go from there. I don't know. How does that land, Lisa?
Yeah, it lands perfectly. I think I would just add that ethics is sort of something you do every single day. It's not just like a one and done. And so imbuing your culture with kind of this framework of thinking, what do we believe, what's good or bad, and how do we sort of embody these values that we communicate to the wider world is just really important. Yeah, that's kind of how.
Yeah, I mean, another word to use to describe that is that ethics is a skill. We tend to think of ethics as like a person is good or bad, and maybe this egregious thing comes up. And maybe the right way to think about it is ethics is something you practice. You get better at it every day. And if you are fortunate enough to take this Stanford course, hopefully that accelerates. But again, and in particular today, this is not advice because we're not telling you how you should live. We are just sharing with you our experiences. Most advice is somebody trying to tell you how to live their life, justify their decisions, or worse, live vicariously through you. But here we're just sharing with you our experiences in the hopes that you learn, and to be continued. And Lisa, thank you for joining for the first time.
Thank you for